Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Heather. Thank you so much for stopping by today. Today we are going to be doing another top 5 video, but we are going to be talking about the top 5 books that I have absolutely loved this year, that have blown my mind. Just those top 5 books that I can't stop thinking about, that I'm always like, read this, please read this book. So we're going to be talking about that. I do have one extra, so it's a +1, you know, I've done one of those in the past, but it's a +1 video. So technically we're going to be talking about the top 6. So instead of doing a mid-year freak out tag like everybody's doing, I'm just going to be talking about my top 5 +1 book. So technically it is 5. I have 5. No, this is 4. Where's that other book at? Where's that other book? I thought I had all of them. Maybe. Oh, no. Okay. I know what I did. I have 2 ebooks, that's why. Okay, anyways. If you have not already, please make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Make sure you like, comment this video, share it with others. Shout it out to your people to come, you know, join this hot mess. But anyways, okay. So the first book that I want to talk about, I'm going to go in order as to how I read them. First book I'm going to talk about is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I did not think that I was going to like this book as much as I did because it is a historical literary fiction novel, but I absolutely loved this book. So the premise of this book is about a woman named Evelyn Hugo, who is a Hollywood starlet. She is so prominent in the Hollywood world. She came from nothing and worked her way up to the top. So she is wanting somebody to write her story for her, and she picks our main character. What is her name? Her name is Monique Grant, and she picks her to write her biography. But there is a secret behind Evelyn Hugo's reason as to why she wants Monique to write her actual biography, and you don't find that out until like the end of the book. But it's a pretty big reason as to why Evelyn Hugo wants Monique to write her biography. But Monique doesn't actually know that she's writing a biography about her until Evelyn Hugo tells her, because Evelyn Hugo has not had she has not done an interview in a really long time, and every time somebody tries to get her to do an interview about her career, she automatically says no. So it's like a really big thing when she asks Monique to do to write her story, which it turns into a biography. So they form this really kind of not weird relationship, but they form a strong relationship, and Monique just like grafts onto Evelyn Hugo's life, and she really writes it the way Evelyn Hugo wants her to, and it's a beautiful story. Evelyn Hugo shows no mercy towards anybody. She went and she got what she wanted, and it might not have been the right thing to do, but she still did it, and she became famous for it. So that is what the premise of this book is about. If you have not read it yet, which a lot of people have, if you haven't read it, you really need to. It's beautiful. It will change your mind on a lot of different things, especially in the Hollywood world, and it's a really good book. You should read it. Obviously I gave it 5 stars. Next book I'm going to talk about is The Philosopher's Flight by Tom Miller. And this was one of those unexpected books that I picked up on a whim. I saw it and I was like, okay, this looks interesting. I didn't know if I was going to like it or not because it is fantasy, but I freaking love this book. It is so good. It is about a guy named Robert. We call him Rob in here, but it's about a 18-year-old named Robert who wants to be a part of the rescue and evacuation team, but only women in his world are a part of the rescue and evacuation. It is strictly a woman's job. The men are like the backbone. The women go out and actually do it, so the men tell the women what to do, you know. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, so Robert wants to be a part of the rescue and evacuation team. Everybody's telling him, no, you can't, because you're a man, you're a dude, and only women are part of the rescue and evacuation team. But his mom has taught him how to fly. They have these like weird little, it's not a broomstick, but it's like a bag of sand basically. It has other stuff in it, but it's like a bag of magical sand, and that's how they fly, and that's how they get around, and that's how they rescue people. So he really wants to be a part of this, but there are a lot of obstacles in his ways. But he does get after a tragic accident, he does get accepted into an all-girls college, and he and another boy are the only ones that are there, and they form a friendship, and he fights through a lot of different things. Like sexism is a big one, because he's the only male there, and all the females are like, you can't do this because you're a dude. You just know you can't do this. So there is a lot of sexism in here, but it's a fun adventure. It's dark, but it's light at the same time. I don't know if that makes sense, but it has some dark elements, but it also has some really beautiful family aspects to it as well. And it just shows how if you fight for what you want, you can get it. So it's about hard work, it's about dedication, it's about not giving up on yourself, and it was just really, really beautiful. And I am planning on reading the sequel very soon. I have it over there. It's called The Philosopher's War. So I'm really excited about it. You really need to read it if you haven't. 5 stars. Do I have to say that? Should I have to say that? No? Okay. So the next book that I picked up was a NetGalley arc, and I have my copy in the mail. Yes, so excited. It is The Hollow Gods by A.J. Brianna. And this is about a town called the Dark Hollows. It is a very mysterious town. It has a very dark past. It also has a legend about a dream walker who comes and steals girls and kills them, and that's how she lives. But our main character named Maya, she is an outcast. She doesn't really have friends. She has a specific friend, but that specific friend moves away at the very beginning of the novel, and so she's just kind of out there by herself. And she goes to this park where all of the girls in the town have disappeared from, but she's drawn to that park for some reason. She just keeps going back, and that's where she can, like, you know, think and daydream and all that kind of stuff. Anyways, one day she encounters this girl that's crawling out of the woods, and she saves her. And it's a girl that's been missing for a really long time, and people thought that the Dreamwalker had taken her and killed her. So Maya is kind of like the hero of the town a little bit, because she's found this girl, but then a week later the girl ends up dead. So there's just weird things going on. Weird things going on. But Maya is at this park again one day, and she sees a wolf come to the edge of the forest, and she's just kind of like standing there, and she's just very drawn to this wolf, but she doesn't know why this wolf is there. And this wolf ends up being this guy named Kai. So we do have some shapeshifters, we do have some werewolves and all that kind of stuff. It's very, very dark, it's very fantasy. And then we have this one doctor who just comes, and he's just very nosy, and he's just, I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what he's doing half the time. But anyways, this book, I don't know if I gave it justice, but it is so good. It is so good. I was not expecting it to be as good as it was, and I have been like pushing this on people. Like, please just read it. Please read it. It is so good. I don't know if I did it any justice whatsoever, but it does come out, like, you can pre-order it right now on Kindle. You can also go to AJ Brianna's website. I'll link it down below, and you can order a book as well. But it officially comes out on July 28th. So if you have not picked it up, you need to. If you've never heard of it, you need to go get it right now. Like, you need to go read the synopsis, and you need to just go look at it, because it is freaking awesome. 5-star read. I said I wasn't going to do that again, but 5-star read. Totally 5 stars. The next book that I read was All Boys Aren't Blue, and this is by George M. Johnson. I have raved about this book since I've read it. It is about George M. Johnson's life, and about him being a queer boy and a queer man in the African American society, plus just in the American society in general, and how he has struggled but he also found his way, and he really did have a beautiful family that just wrapped him up and accepted him in every way possible. They knew from a very young age, and so did he, that he was different than all the other boys. He liked girly things. He wasn't interested in sports, even though he was good at them, and he just had a really beautiful coming out story. His parents already knew, but as he grew up, he had to deal with, well, you're a boy, so you should be doing boy things like playing sports, and you shouldn't be hanging out with girls. And then when he got in college, he had to hide his sexuality because a lot of his frat brothers did not accept gay people into his frat. But then after they got to know him, he really was accepted, and he was very much, they accepted him as he was. But he does talk about a lot of the injustices that go on within the gay community and within the LGBTQ plus community, and he really just lays it out there for you, and he tells you exactly how it is, and I really appreciated that. Obviously, I gave this 5 stars. It was a beautiful read. I listened to the audiobook of it, and I'm waiting on my copy in the mail to come in. I ordered it from an independent bookstore, and I'm just waiting on that to come in, but it is so beautiful. You really need to go read it if you have not already. Then I picked up this. They're so good. Can you hear me? It's so good. I didn't think I was going to like this at first because I usually don't like second chance romance, but y'all, this proved me wrong. It was so flippin' good. It's Don't You Forget About Me, and this is, I've been pronouncing her name wrong all along. It's Bari McFarlane, and this is about a girl named Georgina who is 30 years old, and she has no idea what she wants to do with her life. She's still a waitress, and her parents don't like that. Her parents her mom basically gets onto her all the time because her mom's like, you need to go back to school, you need to do this because you're 30 and you're a waitress. Which honestly, I don't see anything wrong with that, because waitressing put me through college, and I made good money when I was a waitress, but that's not the point. The point is that she's kind of lost. She wants to be a writer, but she doesn't know how. She's just at that place in her life where she has no idea where she wants to go. Like, she's just stuck. But this book starts off with her and her crush in high school. They're reading Wuthering Heights in their high school class, and they start to like each other after they get put in a group with each other, and they just kind of start experimenting like, you know, teenagers do. But they go to a party, and she does something that Lucas doesn't like, and they just never speak again. But forward, and now we have Georgina when she is an adult, and where Lucas is an adult. It's a second chance romance. It's super adorable. It is very heavy at some points. I didn't realize that it was going to have these heavy points in it. I just thought that it was going to be this quirky girl who doesn't know what she wants to do with her life, and then boom, somebody comes back into her life and they just start dating. But it was very much it was a lot heavier than that, and I wasn't expecting that, but it was a really good surprise. And Georgina is hilarious. She's just so funny, and Lucas, he is mysterious, and he is just to the point, and I don't know, he was dreamy, I guess you could say. Whatever. He was that dreamy guy, and he's moody and broody and all that kind of stuff. But anyways, this was so good. I didn't particularly like the first of it, but it was a little slow. But once you get to the middle, and it finishes very strong. So I really loved this book. It was so good, so good. If you haven't read it yet, you really need to. And then our last book is one that everybody has read on BookTube and the internet, and the hype is real, y'all. This is Get a Life, Flowy Brown by Talia Hibbert, and it is that's all I can say is loved it. Okay, so we have Chloe and we have Red, and Red is this very tall ginger who has tattoos all over him, and he's an artist. And then we have Chloe, who is a person who has chronic pain. She has fibromyalgia, and she is in constant pain all the time. If you don't know what fibromyalgia is, it is something that happens with your nervous system, and it's very, very uncomfortable. It's like a disease that attacks your nervous system, and you're constantly in pain. So she's living with chronic pain. Red is at a place in his life where he doesn't really know what he wants to do. I mean, he knows what he wants to do, but he doesn't know how to get there because he's been burned in the past. And he becomes her landlord or her superintendent. They don't like each other at first, so it is the enemies to lovers. And y'all know me, I love me a good enemies to lovers, and this is at the top of the cake. You know when they say it's a piece of, or not, no, that's not the analogy that I'm going for. Anyways, just know that it's super good. It is so good, and it just follows them as they form their relationship. And I really appreciated the fact that the author really did explain what fibromyalgia was and what chronic pain was, and nobody in Chloe's life said that she was lying, because a lot of people that have fibromyalgia or chronic pain, they're not taken seriously, but she was taken seriously, and I really appreciated that. I also appreciated the fact that therapy was mentioned in here, and it was mentioned in a very positive way instead of it being a negative thing, because a lot of people need therapy, but a lot of people are scared to go to therapy because they don't want people to be like, oh, you're in therapy, boo. No, this was like, it was very well written, and it was encouraged to go, and I really, really liked that aspect too. So we have a lot of things in here in such a short book. I'm super excited to continue with this series because it was such a fun read, and Chloe and Red's relationship, it's just amazing. If you haven't read this yet, you really need to, but I'm pretty sure you already have, because I'm late again. But those are my 5+1 top picks for the year so far. In my top 10, I will probably include these, but I probably won't go into much detail since, you know, this right here. But anyways, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you have not read any of these books, you really need to. They're fantastic. I don't know what else to say besides go read them. Go read them. They're great. Subscribe, comment, like, you know, all that. But I hope you have a great day, and I will see you later. Bye, guys.